And welcome back to the Fortress, better known as Brookvale Oval, which is chock-a-block tonight. It's going to cap a magnificent start to the weekend, and it's going to do wonders for the average crowds this year. 40,000 yesterday, and then last night in Melbourne, 25,000. And this is a bumper crowd tonight. Anything late to report on betting, Tom Waterhouse?
The money has come unlimited with Glenn Stewart being named back in the side. 168 into 156. It's an absolute strip out if Manly win tonight.
Okay, Tom Waterhouse there covering the game as far as betting is concerned. Pre-match, South Sydney on their way out. Many are predicting the return of this wonderful old club to grand final football come September. And just as many are thinking Manly might be their opponents. Adam Reynolds in one of the big matchups of the game. He's up against Kieran Foran, 16 restarts from goal line dropouts, and he has engineered 12 of them. Ranking number 1 in the league, both the club and the player. And Nathan Merritt, of course, 10 tries from his past 8 games against the Eagles. Leading try scorer in the competition. But it might well be this venue tonight that's going to prove the difference. At home, they boast the best record of any club over the past 2 years. They've lost only 3 games from their past 22 here at Brookie. The little fellows in red and blue are under-8s from the Manly Christian brothers, and they run out with their Manly heroes, one of whom, of course, is the wonderful fullback, Brett Stewart. 67 tries from 71 games at Brookie. 1 try away from equaling the great Bob Fulton. That would place him equal second in try scoring for Manly, behind Steve Beaver Menzies. So Greg Inglis, of course, at the other end of the park, completes that other absorbing matchup. This man about 13 kilos heavier than Brett, about 11 centimetres higher. And 2 of the great number 1s go head-to-head tonight. Then you've got Sutton up against Foran. Klein, Ashley, and Phil Haynes are the referees, and South Sydney kick off VB Friday Night Football. And Brent Kite is the ball carrier that brings it back for the maroon and white, about 15 metres out from his own line. So Manly then coming down the corridor in front of this crowded Eastern Hill. They are absolutely jammed in there, and Horrow it is that brings it out towards Manly's 40-metre line. Watmo was on hand to take a run, and the available metres would be a worry early in the game. And this is Ballon, rounded up and put down, bringing a groan from the crowd. Here's Cherry Evans now, and he goes high down towards Greg Inglis, back on his own line. He might have left the in. He did, in fact, he left the field of play. Then he got cuffed around the chin by Kieran Foran. Then he got flung back into the in goal. Now he gets a penalty.
Tackle's complete, ball carrying arm on the ground.
Well, they didn't have much trouble getting down into an attacking, kicking position, the Manly team. First set of 6. First one was okay from Kieran Foran, but then the referee said the tackle had already been completed before the other Manly defenders got involved.
So South, Sam Burgess taking it out to the 30-metre line. Isaac Luke, and that's Ben Teo. Dropped on the dirt just inside the 40-metre line for Roy Asatasi. And Asatasi in an upright tackle. Glenn Stewart burrowing down low. And then Isaac Luke giving it away to the South Sydney number 8, David Tyrrell, playing up in the engine room tonight. Here's John Sutton going at them. Lawrence makes the tackle in number 8. Jason King coming off the bench in 17. To the right side for Reynolds to dodge around Watmo and put a kick in that screws all over the place. And Brett Stewart has to take it. And he's hit by Sam Burgess and put down. So now George Tafua, who's second on the try-scoring list, behind Nathan Merritt at the moment. Horrow again with a run down the blind side. Manly versus South Sydney. They played in 3 grand finals over the years, as Matai brings it away. 3 grand finals, and 3 of them won by South Sydney. So here's Watmo. Manly have won 8 premierships, and they started winning premierships after South Sydney had won 20 of them. So there's been 41 years since South won a premiership, as Inglis comes back to be met by the Manly reception committee. And Greg plays the ball inside the 20-metre line for Goodwin to come away. Ballon jams him up in defence, and Daly Evans goes in together with Brent Kite. Holden Cup today, but the Knights went to the Rabbitohs 16-12. Holden, the new sponsor of the National Youth Competition. That's Merritt with his first carry. And now Isaac Luke will play the ball just inside Manly's area as Reynolds drops it down onto the right foot and bounces up for David Williams. Williams comes out about 12 metres and he's put down. Coming in over the top was McQueen in number 11. Glenn Stewart takes it away to the centre of the 20-metre line. Held there by Luke again. And now Tafua, who never fails to come in and take the run. And he goes over the halfway. He's got the fullback in front of him. He turns Inglis around once and twice. And eventually Inglis tackles him inside the 20-metre line. Brittle defence from South. Now, Jerry Evans, Glenn Stewart, Jamie Lyon. He kicks ahead for David Williams, and it's beaten into the dead ball line. It beat both Nathan Merritt and David Williams to the line.
Well, it's a great break. George Tafua through 2 bigger defenders, one of them Dave Tyrrell. And as you point out, Ray, he turned the fullback Greg Inglis around, but the troops arrived to help out. And then straight away to the right-hand side where Glenn Stewart got Jamie Lyon outside his man, and the kick only marginally long. Otherwise, we'd have seen the home side scoring first points. That Sutton tackle, 35 out from his own line.
Now McQueen. And McQueen is taken low by Glenn Stewart and over the top by Cherry Evans. This is Roy Asatasi. And so Souths have been able to bring the ball back to almost the place where Tafua absolutely cracked them open. Something went horribly wrong in the defensive line. Reynolds goes very high. Batted back by Champion. And it's come down over here to the 12, which was Horrow. He got the ball to Tafua. And it's a penalty going to Manly.
High tackle. Out of play. Hey? Second row was out of play. No, he was onside. He come off your bloke. Everyone's onside. He's a defender.
Reynolds, Adam is saying, wasn't he offside? And Ashley Klein pointing out that the ball came off your player. And he was onside before the previous play the ball. So Ashley Klein has got it absolutely right. This is Brent Kite, right on the South Sydney 40-metre line. Watmo brought down 30 away. Centre of the ground. And Ballon with a little dummy, and then going behind one and finding Brett Stewart. And Brett takes it down to the 10-metre line. Stretching South Sydney to the limit. Brent Kite's got an ordinary pass. He will play the ball 7 metres out from the southern try line. Down on the Pittwater Road end. It goes to Jerry Evans, and he's met by McQueen. Got the ball out, picked up by Jamie Lyon. He gives it out to David Williams for a chance at the line. But he's held by scrambling South Sydney defence. Well done, Rabbitohs there. Now it's come away again for Jerry Evans. He drops it onto the foot. It's batted back by Manly. Knocked on by Matai.
Pass. Hand over. Here we are, boys. Hand over on the line.
A frenetic game of rugby league.
Yeah, they're maintaining the rage, Manly. An intense start from both teams, but Manly looked more likely as Steve Maddai. A sight all too common in his career with that shoulder and neck problem that he carries week in, week out. South Sydney just hanging on, again bringing it out from their own line, true champion.
Tio. Isaac Luke. Sam Burgess. Taken by Anthony Watmo and Brent Kite, and another, Matt Ballin. Watmo's comment brought quite a bit of humour to the build-up of this match when he was comparing the size of the South Sydney players with himself. He was begging for the game to return to wait for aid. The thought of Burgess charging down on top of Anthony is like a mismatch. David Williams running a long way to mark the ball and take it away from the goal mouth and comes out to the 20-metre line where Tafua made that break earlier. So I'm thinking that they're going to aim a bit of artillery towards Reynolds. 30 metres out now from their own line, Manly. Played by Tafua. And here's Jamie Lyon. Put down by Roy Asatasi. Played back to Matt Ballin. Given to Anthony Watmo. Again, he's able to run a long way before he's met by defence, and now he gets a penalty.
To the ball.
Yeah, the reason why Watmo can run such a long way is his leg speed. He's really quick across the ground, and his football, I believe, has really improved since Manly's played him in the middle third of the field, where he gets in amongst the bigger fellas. And I think he says it's tongue-in-cheek that he's playing a bigger side. He plays a bigger side every week, but he loves to dance around them with that footwork, and the speed across the advantage line is such a weapon. They had to hold him down there because they just figured a quick play the ball might catch them napping. Playing really well, Anthony Watmo.
Great line finder then by Cherry Evans, and here's Stewart playing in jumper 22. And from Cherry Evans, it's linked over to Brent Kite. He's in the middle of the ground. He's 11 metres away. Is it coming now? Here's Stewart. Back it goes. Brett Stewart, David Williams, and David Williams is pulled down desperately by Goodwin with the help of Sutton. Now Brett Stewart goes for a barge over try. Has he made it? Klein is not sure.
The fourth tackle.
I think he might have got there. Oh, no,
No try.
No try up top, but
Just double check to make sure the ball doesn't touch the line.
he has to go early. He scored a try in a state of origin like this. Dummy half, dummying and then diving through, and despite the fact that the on-field adjudicator says no, he'll go very, very... Oh, no, he's short. And then brought back, so it'll be a play the ball. In fact, if he'd have got it down on the line, it might have been a double movement against him.
I've got no doubts about it. If you watch this, there's an action where he tries to promote the ball after the tackle.
But because it doesn't touch the line.
It doesn't touch the
back.
line. No, I'm not saying that he's in the wrong now, but I'm sure it's going to be turned down. And it's the fourth tackle, so I'm expecting Brett Stewart to be called back to play the ball. So the decision is pending. Jared Maxwell and Matt Rodwell. No try, and Ashley Klein
Tackle 4.
sort of gambled, I think, on his call. He wasn't in a good position to tell, but he got it right.
Yeah, and they said he's not held up over the line. He's got to go up to the try line to play the ball here, so they're saying he was short.
Tackle 4, wait for the whistle.
So from Ballin, long, Cherry Evans, fallen off his left foot, asking a question of the defence. Sam Burgess was very good, and then Cherry Evans, he grabbed it, kicks, and who cleaned that up?
No, it's touched you and it's gone forward, so we'll
It's
play 20
out
minutes.
to the 20. So Greg Inglis is sprinting out and taps the ball, makes a run of 12 metres. Brett Stewart it was that it came off in going dead. Champions taken high by Kite. Haynes in charge of the match at the moment, ruling high shot.
And that's a great response from the Rabbitohs. You know, they're under intense pressure there on their goal line. They turned Manly away the moment they got possession from the 20-metre tap. Inglis is out to the 20, charging forward. They're over the advantage line on the next play, and they draw the penalty with the high tackle. They're two really good teams here. The atmosphere is outstanding.
Could we be watching the teams that we'll see on the last Sunday in September? Melbourne still favourites. The Sydney Roosters entering calculations. Isaac Luke taking the play to within 15 metres of the Manly line. Playing it to Ben Teo. Now to Adam Reynolds. Show, deep, Sutton, Burgess. Burgess! Trampling over the top of the body there in the shape of Matt Ballin. They slowly play the ball down. Luke sweeps it. Reynolds pokes it in. Florin's there, and Florin to play the ball. Pick up nicely by Horro. Comes out beyond the 20-metre line.
Well, from the time that ball was played, you could see the outside support players there from the Rabbitohs charging into the in goal. That was a set play for Reynolds to kick, but he couldn't squeeze it through the line. And there was really no one back there. Had he got it through the line, could have easily been a try. Have a look at the collisions here. Gee, these are two good football teams. They're really into each other too.
Here's Lawrence now, and he gets a ball out the back for Cherry Evans. He floats it out to Jamie Lyon. A nice pair of hands from him. He kicks the ball into the middle. It'll go dead.
Wow.
Brett Stewart, oh, he's collided with the back advertising signage. I'm sure he's okay, but he tried to bat the ball back like Greg did, Inglis, to Mark Gasnier at the cricket ground in the centenary test.
Well, he certainly didn't give up on the play. And the vision, firstly, of Cherry Evans to get the ball to the outside of Lyon, and then Lyon's quick glance back in field to hear a call from Stewart to kick back to the post.
It's like watching a game of tennis, Peter. It's up there, it's back here. There it is, deep to the forehand.
And I've got to give a rap too to Brenton Lawrence for the little offload that's initiated all of that. He's been an absolute revelation in the front row for Manly, but you're exactly right, Ray. It's one end to the other, just waiting for one team to break. And South Sydney have done very, very well to work their way back into this. And the body language is improving all the time for them.
Reynolds now, and he drops it into the corner. It skids to a halt. Williams is with it. Reynolds leads the chase and makes the tackle with some help from Ben Teo.
Now, Williams is back there at fullback because Brett Stewart is still getting back on side, and he's obviously taken some ill effect from that collision with the advertising signage. He's out on the right wing at the moment, just feeling his bumps and bruises. I'm sure he'll be back.
Watmo again with a valuable run. And he loses the ball, but the referee has said knock backwards, play on. Lawrence obligingly knocks on from a South Sydney point of view. Played then by South Sydney. McQueen is upended. Jamie Lyon combining with Daly Cherry Evans. South Sydney, David Tyrrell in number 8 is tackled on the 40-metre line. Peter.
That mistake there from Lawrence, the first error from the Manly team tonight. At the moment, South Sydney are 8 from 8, working towards 9 from 9. Sutton on the left.
Jason Clark is into the game. McQueen was trying to get a ball away. He had Greg Inglis flying onto it. Now it's out and gone to Tyrrell. He'll play it 15 metres out in front of the uprights. So they go to the right side, and Reynolds again. Rubber kicks, and it's going to go dead. So they'll come out to the 20 for the restart. Manly, like sentinels, standing over the top of it. So here we go again. Another wave coming from left to right this time as Manly respond to the challenge, and Jeff Tuvey watches on anxiously. Brent Kites inside the 40-metre line. Playing it for Ballin, and Ballin to Cherry Evans. And Glenn Stewart knocks on. So South Sydney will get the loose head and the feed and the advantage.
Yeah, that's a little bit of rustiness there from not playing for a few weeks. Glenn Stewart, a late inclusion into this one, although it was pretty much touted over the last fortnight that he would resume in this game. Yeah, but it's just from lack of footy, that one.
Only a small thing, but I think it's a real positive sign that Stewart comes into this game. No strapping, off-season surgery, I believe, on the left knee, and hasn't resorted to any strapping there, so he must be feeling good about it.
1947 Manly into the competition, and in just their third game on this day, they played South Sydney. Their first year in the comp in 1947. Here's Luke at lock, playing at half after he'd done his job as lock. Strange game, isn't it, now, when it comes to scrum? This is McQueen. 30 metres out then, and South Sydney take the challenge down to Manly, and Sam Burgess is working double time. Plays it outside the 20-metre line. Luke away, that's Clark, and this is Sutton. And Sutton is away from Cherry Evans, and he gives the ball to Greg Inglis. Inglis going for the corner. He flick passes inside. Dived on by one of his supports, but then by one of the enemy. And Cherry Evans plays the ball. Brent Kite runs it out to the 20.
Oh, didn't Greg Inglis surge there? He got the offload from Sutton. And when he saw he had a little bit of space, he just absolutely fired out of a cannon towards the corner post. Watch this. Here he goes. Look at this whoosh. Very nearly got there.
You can't strip it, mate.
So there's been another knock on by Manly, and South Sydney will get another little advantage.
Back here, boys. Come on.
Scrum 35 metres away from the Manly line.
Jamie Lyon claiming that the ball would strip there by John Sutton. The crowd, as you would expect, agree.
I thought that was
a couple of opportunities down this end of the field for South Sydney in the last few minutes.
Let's go.
In 20. Matt. Let's go. In 20.
Sideline comment from Wally Lewis.
Take it in.
Yeah, just taking a look at Glenn Stewart. Obviously, this game was just played from end to end for the first 12 or 13 minutes of the first half. But Glenn Stewart in the last couple of minutes is really starting to struggle. Obviously, has a little bit of a problem with his fitness, having been out injured so long.
Everingham. Tom Simons, I see, is now standing and stretching. Here's George Burgess. And he will play the ball just outside the Manly 20-metre line. Reynolds goes wide, Champion goes back in, picks up Inglis, and Fayoso is out there now for Manly, and a penalty goes to Souths.
Steve, I don't need you. That's fine, but I don't need you. Then run over. Just over there. Just take the boys over there.
Well, they've put him in a dangerous position.
Richie! Richie!
Been on the end of a couple of these, Greg Inglis, in recent times.
Okay. We don't need you, Steve. Okay, yeah, that's not. I'm going to talk. Okay, he's placed him in a dangerous position. It's on report.
Yeah, what about when he's trying to lean over and get to the ground?
Yeah, and that's fine, but the player's been placed into a dangerous position, and that's what the penalty's for.
Jamie Lyon making the point that the tackled players are trying to find the dirt as quickly as they can, and they are, in his opinion, aiding and abetting the dangerous tackle that's been applied by the referee. In other words, amplifying or exemplifying the tackle. Here's George Burgess. Well, he's been pushed back. You don't often see him lose ground with the football. Isaac Luke ducking, weaving, bobbing, and now on the ground. Good player. Sam Burgess dummy half. Clark gives it to Teo, and Teo tries to bash his way through the line.
Don't lock him in, Ben.
So here is Greg Inglis, head bandage. Reynolds holds it back, challenges the line himself. And he's just a couple of centimetres out. Here's Sutton, and here's George Burgess. 5 and last for Souths. Luke, Sutton, he dribbles it in, taken by Cherry Evans.
Wait. Galley, offside, went early.
Offside is Cherry Evans, penalty South Sydney.
Offside, went early.
And they're starting to think, well, I'm starting to think with all of the advantages,
Doesn't matter.
they've got to put some points on the board.
Back on the line.
Well, it's brilliant football. South Sydney are throwing everything at this Manly line. Manly refused to buckle. It was the same at the other end of the field.
Was Clark. Jason Clark. Luke, and he goes second man back to John Sutton, and Sutton is held by Manly. Luke Long out now to Reynolds, and this is Teo again. Something's got to break, surely. Bellin low around the legs. Luke away to Clark, and he's held in front of the uprights, 5 metres out. Held there by Jason King. Isaac Luke, some depth to Reynolds. Here's Ingles in, Champion runs the angle. Reynolds will probably kick. No, he's decided to run, and he's taken again by Ballin. Out it comes to Sutton. Sutton puts the kick up. They come after it, and Williams above the pack takes it safely and returns it to the 20-metre line at brilliant speed. Out to the 30-metre line comes the Wolfman. Taken out here by Goodwin together with McQueen.
What an incredible passage of play. Gee, they're good teams, these two. We saw a good team yesterday in the Roosters and another one last night in the Melbourne Storm. But wow, these two. They must have been watching. They said, we're going to come out and show you what we got tonight.
Fayoso driven down by Isaac Luke with some help from McQueen. Manly ranked at number 1 in defence. Have not let a try in on 7 occasions from 12 halves played. Foran dropping it down to Inglis. Inside his 10. King is there. So too is Tafua. And another penalty goes to South. So what's happening in the penalty count now? It's out to 5-2 in favour of the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, and they've been really physical with Greg Inglis tonight. I think this is the 3rd penalty on Greg Inglis when he runs the ball. There was the one down on his own goal line. There was the one at the other end where Fayoso put him on his head, and now this one where they're into him again. So I would say somewhere in the Manly psyche is they've got to keep giving it to Greg Inglis the best they can. Mind you, he's pretty big and he can absorb plenty of that.
Sam Burgess running into the Manly brick wall, and he's able to flop the ball out the back. Greg Inglis is there. He takes them on now. Just close to the halfway line, his own side of the halfway. Luke to Sutton. Sutton inside for Teo. Good run by Ben Teo. He'll play the ball 4 metres into Manly's area. Here's George Burgess. But they hit this Manly defensive line, and as I said, it's like a brick wall. And here's a penalty again to South Sydney. 5 in a row. Penalties to South.
Come on.
Joey, yeah, bro.
Jamie.
Can I talk to you, mate?
Of course you can.
So he's getting up and pushing our player in the head. What's he meant to do?
What I would like Richard to do straight away, tackle 2 here, tackle 3 there. He's just too slow.
Down Jason King's head. You can't get up attacking a head, mate.
I've explained to you what the penalty's for. There's been numerous penalties now against your side, 4 in a row. You need to work on your team's discipline. They need to come to us.
Well, how about even that, mate?
I don't referee that way, and watch what you say, Jamie. Jamie, watch what you say. That's it.
So what he's saying there is the South Sydney player's pushing the player down on the head. How can he possibly get up?
I think it was actually Richie Fayoso who got penalised there, who was the other defender who was already standing up.
We'll take a break and come back to Brookie in a moment. Welcome back to Brookvale Oval, packed to capacity and enthralling Friday night football, and they're kicking for goal.
And this decision is the ultimate compliment to the Manly defence. Now it's in front, but it is 38 metres out. 0-0. This is a sign that they're struggling.
They are struggling, but they're 2 points in front now. Struggling to break the line. They take the kick from 40 metres out, and Reynolds puts first points on the board. 2-0 in favour of the Rabbitohs.
Well, that's an incredible decision to kick for goal there, because they've had so much possession at the other end of the field. You felt it was only a matter of time. I think Manly would be quite happy with that they kicked for goal.
Stay behind!
Maybe they all needed a drink, Rabbits. I can't work it out.
I think it might have been a resuscitation and rehabilitation break. And George Burgess comes out and the collisions continue. This is just incredible. It's like steam train head-on against steam train.
5 defenders went 5 different directions.
Here's Clark. Club premiership game being played with the volatility of a grand final. Play by Burgess. Sam. Luke. Champion Everingham. Everingham has reached the Manly 40-metre line. So from Champion, it's back to Reynolds. And Reynolds, he puts the kick in. It'll be too deep. And it goes down over the 20-metre line. And again, it might be a resuscitation break.
Now, it's very unusual for a home team in a game like this with a big crowd to be down 6-2 in the penalty count. So South Sydney have got to be extra diligent here. That suddenly there isn't an evening up in the penalty count. They've just got to be very squeaky clean, because this home crowd is baying for a penalty. You watch the cheer goes up if the referee's arm goes up.
Tafua plays the ball. Then Cherry Evans. Now Glenn Stewart. Gets it on. Jamie Lyons. Play the ball right on the halfway line here on the western side. Cherry Evans drifting across. Drifting. Then stepping to straighten. And he'll play the ball. Penalty Manly.
Off that head, don't pull it down. Don't pull that head down.
And there you go.
And I'll be surprised if Manly kick for goal here. Just having a discussion now as to what they will do. Isaac Luke, the man, penalised being up around the neck and head area of Daly Cherry Evans, and rightly so.
Yeah, you've got to be squeaky clean. You've got to stink your way through this game sometimes.
So Manly with Richie Faroso on report for putting Greg Inglis in a dangerous position. Plays it 10 metres away. Ball is turned in for Jason King, and he'll play it. That's how close he is to the try line. Away for Cherry Evans. Wide for Foran. Cut out ball for Mathai. Everingham came in, and then it was picked up by Manly. So it's play on and 6 more tackles for the Eagles. Played by Stewart. This is Foran. Now Ballard. So South Sydney in defensive mode now. Hurrow, the ball goes loose. It's back to Tafua. Into the backward direction. Oh, his pass is horrible to Fayoso. And the referee, which way is he going?
We've got a touch judge on.
Everingham, he claimed he was elbowed by Brett Stewart as he was going past.
Touch judges come in.
We're going to have a look at it.
I believe it was Andrew Everingham and Brett Stewart.
He's made contact. Not sure where it's hitting, but he's made contact with the forearm. It's got to go on report, mate.
Okay.
Touchy's making a report.
Isaac, just over there, mate. Just go over there. Just get the boys apart. Greg, I need you to take the boys over there.
Yeah, I agree. Jamie.
Bring him back, Justin.
Just take the boys apart.
There it is, Brett Stewart hanging the right elbow out on Andrew Everingham.
It's over there. Hey?
Why did he call Isaac out, though?
Yeah, Jamie and Brett.
It's unnecessary.
Okay.
Brett Stewart has made unnecessary contact.
Now, the report was for an unnecessary use of the elbow. We're going to place that one on report. It was in back play.
Hang on, what about the first one?
No, we do the penalty there. That was the report, Brett, so that's what the penalty is going to be for.
Did you have the first one instigated?
Okay? That's what we've seen. That's all we've seen is the elbow, okay? And that's what the penalty is going to be for.
There was contact made on Brett Stewart by Andrew Everingham, and that's what Brett is talking about. But it was more push and shove, and Brett then has been reported by the touch judge for using the elbow dangerously on Everingham. So it's, to use a Bill Lorry, it's all happening. Sam Burgess losing the ball. Did it get any help? No. So Manly rejoice. They're down 2-0, but Big Sam has made a mistake.
I'll tell you something, Rabbits. If you're going to play in one of the top football teams and you've got aspirations of winning a premiership, you've got to love the battle. And it was a saying that I've seen in a lot of top sides over the years. Learn to love the battle. You've got two teams out here that are loving this physical battle. They are right in each other's faces and giving nothing. The score only 2 points to nil after nearly half an hour's play. And there is no one having a better time here than the players on the field.
Well, if you compete often, you're more prone to make mistakes than the one that doesn't compete often. Burgess has carried the ball 9 times. I think he's probably entitled to one blemish because he's certainly stepped up to the plate more times than anybody else at the South Sydney side to this point in time. King, he'll play the ball 20 metres away from the South Sydney line. Ballon away to Glenn Stewart, and he goes right side for Jerry Evans. Then Jamie Lyon over the head of David Williams.
And touched.
I was touched by South, Manly feed.
So the pendulum still with Manly.
Yeah, Jamie Lyon tried a little flick pass out the side here to Williams, and it's Merritt who gets his hand on the ball. He covers them both. He knows he's sort of half got to come in, sees the flick, gets his hand to the ball. Otherwise, Williams is in the corner.
And that's what the right side combination for Manly is very good at doing, getting Jamie Lyon outside his man. And when that happens, it puts pressure on the outside defender. He has to make a decision. Do I stay out on my man, or do I come in and try and snuff it out? Well, there was almost enough room for David Williams to slide down the sideline for the opening try there, but the pressure is maintained.
So a set piece. Probably coming from this scrum. And it's a blindside rush by Jamie Lyon. He's centimetres short of the line. Ballon sweeping it. Cherry Evans, Glenn Stewart, Kieran Foran, battered down, knocked on by South. Everingham is away, but it's a knock-on against the Rabbitohs. Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, and it was one he had to make, because if you look at the high shot here, South Sydney was shot in defence out wide. Manly had big numbers to the left, and had this one found the mark, watch this ball in behind here. Now, if that ball goes out the back, there's 1, 2, 3 on one defender. And we'd have seen our first try, but again, Reynolds recognises it, gets his hand to the ball. Something's got to give, Rabbits. There's got to be a try in a minute.
Michael Maguire would have lectured long to his right side defenders with the memory of Blue Tongue. Last year, Manly ran riot down that right side defence. This is where they're going now. This is where they had a commanding victory at Gosford last year, pummeling South Sydney's right side defence.
Get out of the way, Steve. Just wait. Let me get out of the way. Go now.
Matai playing the ball deep into South Sydney's area. King taken to ground. I think he's injured, Jason King, but they go for the line. The pass is ill-directed. Picked up by Cherry Evans, and he's flung to the ground by Luke and George Burgess. Still inside the 20-metre line. Ballon towards the middle.
George, let him up now!
Lowe is out there for South Sydney. Cherry Evans to Glenn Stewart. The run around, and here's Jamie Lyon getting it away. Picked up by Brett Stewart. Tackled from behind by Nathan Merritt. What a game of football this is, and here's Fayoso! Adjacent to the upright. Ballon to the left, and there's the kick, and it's been batted back, and the ball has gone forward, plotting the climb. It's a play the ball out 10 metres from the corner post.
On the line, guys.
Everybody takes a breath. And I've got to say, that's one thing I love about our game. They're looking to belt each other into submission, these two teams, and yet Isaac Luke was still concerned. about an injured Jason King after he tried to put him into next week.
Yarrow, brand new, starts on Wednesday. And Lowe goes across. Chancelly to George Burgess as they run it away, and Sutton comes out beyond the 30-metre line. It's hard to find anybody in the South Sydney side that's small. John Sutton, he's a large 5'8". Penalty goes to Manly.
Play the ball, voluntary tackle. He fell off the tackle, I've called play on.
Oh,
no, I've called play on. He fell off the tackle.
That's tough.
Well, that's a really tough penalty. He goes down, he fell off the tackle. He said,
yes. Well, that's a perfect example of where you tell them to go back and do it the way you want it.
Exactly.
Of course it is.
Well, what's he doing that for, Klein?
Well, I suppose he can't go back and tell him to play on, which was his ruling, I guess. But I mean, you hear play on, or do you hear play the ball?
Thanks, Reedy.
It's a bad call.
Everybody would have been happy if he'd have played the football.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. They've adjusted that rule. They've given the referee the chance to send it back and do it properly, the way I asked. Anyway, it's played by Fayoso. And Simons has gone on for Manly, and here's Horo. Close to the line. Under 5 minutes to half-time. Here is Cherry Evans, Glenn Stewart, Jamie Lyon. Here they come again. David Williams, smothered by South Sydney's defence. Lyon, Cherry Evans, forward, short for Simon. Can the fresh legs do something? Just outside the 10, Ballard, foreign, cuts out two, goes to Stewart, and then it's battered by Matai. It's gone into touch. They're all desperate. Manly's as desperate as South Sydney. We'll take a break and come back 2-0. Welcome back to Brookvale. If you think we're puffing as much as they are, I think. That is an exaggeration, but it has been an incredible game. We are just 3 minutes from half-time. It feels like it's been about 10 minutes into the game.
Ray, I don't think this game is going to be won 2-0, but it could be the smartest decision ever made to take the goal.
It's a bit like when I say to you, you can have that 6-inch putt if you give me my 1-footer. Here's George Burgess. Mightn't be a bad idea at halftime to say, look, let's call it even. We'll see you again later on in the year. In fact, I think they go back together at Gosford later in the year. As Reynolds puts a kick down the ground, and it should go dead. Then again, I'm reminded, why would you stop something when you're having a good time?
I'll tell you who's on fire tonight. You are, Rabbits. I thought you'd be tired after yesterday. You put so much into the Anzac Day game. I thought you'd get here and just mellow your way through it. You've been up right from the start. You're loving it.
Jamie Lyon. In fact, South and Manly was the first grand final I ever did.
I think you're looking younger too, I've got to be honest.
Stop, I'm taking anti-aging cream. You'll have me before the courts in a moment. Here's Watmo.
You're taking it, you're not supposed to eat it, Ray.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point you make. I'm taking the capsule version, I should have said. There was a cream though, Peter. Here's Horo. And through to Foran, high to Cherry Evans, on to Stewart, out the back, Brett Stewart, he circles, David Williams, he centre kicks, there's a chance on, no there's not, it's gone dead.
Yep.
Wow, haven't we seen that before? I'm sure we saw that earlier.
In the middle, two passes.
Unfortunately for Manly with the same result.
Well, we can't possibly get a second half like this one. You wouldn't think, would you?
I certainly hope we do, and then again I hope we don't.
Well, this is the game of the season so far. What a marvellous, marvellous exhibition of rugby league and courage and power. It's got everything.
Goodwin and Champion, they must look at the program and say to themselves, geez, Jamie Lyon and Steve Matai, that's a combination we're up against. But they've held them at bay. Here's Sam Burgess spiralling out of a tackle before Foran makes it complete. And now Reynolds, he corkscrews a kick back and it goes over the dead ball.
You go.
So back to the 20-metre line.
Okay.
There's nobody sprinting out this time.
On the line, guys.
And they put the kicking game of Adam Reynolds under pressure tonight. Shake of the head there, and he wouldn't be happy with many of them. But it's because he's not getting a free rein out there. He's kicking with players rushing at him in his face. That just makes it a little bit tougher. Manly now inside the final minute. Horro been good down that left. There haven't been too many bad ones out there.
Well, there it is, the siren for the half-time break. And have we just seen the best half of football in the Premiership thus far? It's 2-0, a penalty goal to South Sydney. They couldn't break Manly, so they took a 40-metre penalty goal. Holden half-timers next. Cameron Williams, Brad Fittler, Wally Lewis take us through the hard-earned first half highlights. I hope you're enjoying it. It doesn't get any better. VB Friday Night Football on Channel 9. Back at Brookvale Oval. Boys have analysed the game at half-time. The fans have sat back and taken a breath. What a game. 2-0 at half-time. Manly were down 2-0 to the Gold Coast, weren't they? Well, South Sydney leaving the sheds.
As in the only game they've been beaten in this year, Gold Coast.
They've both only lost the one, Pete. Souths to Melbourne. Manly, of course, to the Gold Coast.
The start to this second half, this first 10 minutes is really vital here, because when you get a game like that that's so even in the first half and so physical, sometimes one of the teams can't back it up early in the second half, and that's where they strike, the opposition strike. So both teams, and I think both coaches, will be talking about this first 10 minutes of the second half of re-establishing themselves on the advantage line and re-establishing themselves in defence physically to try and pick up where they left off there before the break. It's sometimes hard to back it up after a first half like that.
Full moon over, well, Sydney. Appropriately for the Wolfman, there's Steve Maddow. Rowan Carroll put a nice piece together there before the show. Thank you, Rowan. Even though I deny there's a love affair going on between me and Steve, it seems there are those that want to hang me out there.
You can deny it all you like, Robert.
So Manly running from right to left for our second half. And here's George Burgess throwing that massive frame back at Manly. You can throw whatever you like at Manly, though. The records show now they've gone through 13 halves, and 8 of those halves they have been tryless opposition. Ben Lowe, John Sutton, and a good decoy by McQueen. They find Inglis. He comes to his opposite number, and he gives the opposite number the sidestep, and he puts it over. Well, a big play, a massive decoy run by McQueen, and Inglis has scored.
And power running from Greg Inglis. Daly Cherry Evans went in. Jamie Lyon couldn't take Inglis low. He backed himself because he had support on the inside, dummied on the inside, the fend into Brett Stewart, the smile to the crowd. We didn't have to wait long second half for the opening points, and it's South Sydney.
You've just seen an exhibition of the fastest, biggest man in rugby league, considered by many to be the best player in the game, certainly the most devastating runner of the football. Greg Inglis. And I talked about the matchups tonight. And the one came on the one. That's something else you don't see a lot of, but Brett Stewart had an awful sight coming at him.
And it's no surprise that it came down that left side. They've been potent there this year. Along with Brisbane coming into this game, they've had the most success in scoring tries down that left-hand side. And Adam Reynolds can put this one over. That early penalty will be an inspired decision.
6-0 at the moment, and Reynolds is bringing it back, and Reynolds has got it there. It is 8-0 in favour of South Sydney. A try in the opening seconds of the second half for Greg Inglis, Brad Fittler.
Brilliant bit of ball playing there by John Sutton. He held it, the line-up, just on the inside enough. Good trust there. McQueen goes through, Inglis out the back, and Stewart has mission impossible there. One-on-one with Greg Inglis. Too good.
So the restart, and it's come down to John Sutton, who played the ball just outside the 20-metre line. Well, the fans had barely gone back to their seats or where they're standing over on the hill before Souths have grabbed the first try of the game. Asatasi cutting through.
Look at the easy yards here. And this is exactly what I spoke about just before the second half kickoff. South Sydney have come out and re-established themselves.
Same player on the same player. Bayoso is on report earlier for putting Inglis in a dangerous position.
He's landed straight on the point of his head.
Yep.
This is going to be most interesting.
Yeah, mate.
Well, there was some criticism weeks ago that Chris Naninu wasn't sent immediately from the field for a similar one.
Sorry, mate. I'm not watching the replay.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Richie.
Chris Naninu ended up getting 5 weeks or 6 weeks at the judiciary.
Yep. Richie. John on report.
On report. Okay.
Well, Bayoso, that might well be the first time in any game
and we've cautioned him.
Same
That's the
player's been
decision.
placed on report
John,
for the same tackle on
we're moving
the same
on. That's
player.
a decision.
Well, and I think it's about the 4th penalty on Inglis tonight. But as I said just before the second half kickoff, you know, South Sydney have come out and established themselves straight away. Manly still had their heads in the dressing room, and you often see that when you get such a scintillating first half that's very level. One team doesn't quite come out the second half.
So South Sydney send George Burgess ahead. And Burgess playing the ball outside the 20-metre line. They sweep it out to the left side. It's Chris McQueen, who played a part off the ball in the Inglis try. Make no mistake about that. George Burgess now up to the 10.
He played a huge role, Ray. He got Daly Cherry Evans involved.
Too long.
Penalty for holding down now against Anthony
down on that
Watno.
first tackle, hand on ball, but you're just lying all over him.
So 8-0, 10-0.
Here's 10 now.
No difference, and Luke takes the tap. Roy Asatasi drives it at that southern try line. Down in front of the Fulton Menzies stand. Here is Reynolds, and Burgess is sandwiched by Foran and Matai. From Luke, it's a well-directed pass. Reynolds to Sutton, to Lowe, and Ben Lowe will play it. 10 away. Manly's defence holding again now. Asatasi. Tom Simons and Glenn Stewart making the tackle. And Luke goes behind the decoy. Sutton will score. John Sutton has got another try for South Sydney.
Jared.
Souths have gone into celebration mood. But there is an inquiry. The referee is saying try, but he wants to look at something.
Well, he wants to look at any obstruction involved here. It did appear as though John Sutton, with that wonderful left foot step for a big man, just came back on the inside of, I think, Richie Bayoso. Right, but there is some contact there. Ben Lowe on, is it Matt Ballon?
Yeah, but Ballon had to tackle him. Ballon couldn't have let Ballin tackles him. He's drawn by the decoy. He's drawn by the decoy. He's made the decision to take one man. You can't now assume that he's going to get across and cover the other. Ballin wanted him. So for mine, it's a try.
And that is in the key indicators that we were given at the start of the year. The decision has to be made. Did the defender tackle the attacker, or did the attacker run at the defender and take him out and impede him? So using your common sense, it would seem that it will be a try. I think it'll be green. It is. It's a try for South Sydney. They boot out to lead 12-0 now as we take a break and come back for the kick. Welcome back to Brookie. Have a look at the size of him. He wears number 6. You could run him out as a prop forward in some days and ages of rugby league. John Sutton has scored. And now Adam Reynolds to convert, to take them out to 14, plays nothing. An amazing game. And amazing transition to the game. Wally Lewis sideline. What a beauty.
Yeah, but certainly was a very well executed play. Great step back inside from Sutton. You can argue all you like, but one man I'm expecting to see play pretty well, Richie Fayeso. He was the man that missed the tackle originally. There it is, before the dive was taken for the line. He also, of course, gave the penalty away that put the Rabbitohs in that field position. It might be some time before we see him back on the field.
Did you agree with the decision on no obstruction?
Yeah, pretty much.
George Burgess has got a clip over the chin. He's gone to ground. Now the punches are flying. His brother Sam has gone in. And the game has erupted as they single away, but now it's quenched.
And it was Steve Maddai who made contact on George Burgess. And it's about to flare up again.
Sam, over here, Sam.
Maddai's in the middle of it.
Keep your boys apart.
Ben Lowe taking
Jamie.
Sam, over here.
plenty of offence.
John, I need you to get your boys out of there, mate. Isaac, get your boys out of there.
Over here, Ben.
You don't mess with my little brother. Might have been the message from Sam Burgess. He just started throwing them.
I just need you to take your team that way. Anthony.
Let's go. Let's move back. Let's go back.
Richie, just go over there, mate.
Greg.
Let's examine this. It's an arm that's bounced up off the ball.
I just need you to walk over
The initial
goal line,
contact's okay, but the fact that it bounces up onto the chin, that's the problem.
And it's finished up on the throat.
They're doing their job. You get your team back. Richie, go that way.
Jamie, just take the boys that way, please.
Well, the more you look at it,
Jamie, take your team
the
that way.
more you look at it,
Go that way. They're doing
it's
their
only
job. You do
just
yours and
bounced
head
up
that way,
off the
please.
ball to a point just below the Adam's apple.
Jamie, just take them back and then you can
But
look.
then this broke out.
Justin, keep going, mate.
Players taking the law into their own hands just for a moment. It wasn't
Just talk to me, horse. I didn't
too
pick up
bad.
much there.
Eventually, South Sydney still trying to calm Sam Burgess down.
Well, it certainly looks spectacular. But I see Maddai being placed on
They're doing their
report for
job,
this.
Jamie, let them do their job. Steve, I've asked you this before.
Foreign and Burgess in the bin.
And Sam Burgess is the one who will get in trouble for initiating what came next, I imagine.
Well, Sam will cop the bin.
Yep. Okay, yep.
Yep.
Okay, Jamie and Steve.
Steve,
He's worn a path for the referee tonight, Jamie Lyon.
over to Ashley. Over to Ashley. Sam.
You might enter the
Okay.
legal profession when
I just need you to
retired.
listen and not say a word here. Now, it's going to be a penalty against you guys. The ruling is that the arm has come up off the ball and made contact with... I just need you to listen and made contact with the head.
So what's it?
Stay here, Steve. Steve.
Stand there.
Mate, if you want to walk, you'll end up going that way, okay? So it's going to be on report, okay? On report.
So how's he got a penalty for hitting the ball?
No, because it's come up off the ball and made contact with the head.
So how's that a penalty though?
Because it's made contact with the head or neck.
But hit the ball first.
That's fine, but it didn't make contact with the head or neck, and that's the decision. Take the side that way. Yeah, that's fine, but take them that way. Sam, I just need you here now. Okay.
I think Sam's going to go here.
You can't take it out of our hands, okay? That's a penalty to you guys. But once you take it out of our hands, we're going to look for alternatives.
Can I just have a quick one here, Adam? When are we going to get an advantage? If we get suspended, we don't get an advantage. That's 4 times.
That's another day. That's fine.
Well, he's staying out there. I thought I heard one of the referees suggest that he deserved the bin. Here's George.
Well, if I'm sitting at home, I wouldn't leave the lounge room if I were you. I'd sit tight because anything could happen here.
Jamie Lyon's point, he hit the ball, he didn't hit the head, but when the arm bounces up off it, that's not a defence. Unfortunately, if you're a Manly or Steve Maddow supporter, this is Ben Lowe. So it's 14-0.
Sam Burgess showed more foresight as he takes.
Oh, look at them hitting! 3 of them came in simultaneous, including Steve Maddow, and he gets up smiling, the big Englishman. Right on the halfway line, they come in again and drive hard Manly. Look at that hit on Sam Burgess. A triangular Manly hit. Now Inglis joins in. This is Goodwin. 14-0 in favour of South as Southern kicks the ball down to Brett Stewart. Brett is tackled on his own 20-metre line. David Williams. Chafua.
Well, what that little to-do has caused is this crowd to get back into the game. At 14-0, they were quiet. Now, after all of the drama of the last couple of minutes, they are very vocal again, and their team is reacting to it.
That was a brilliant piece of work by the front rower, Tyrrell, to tackle Cherry Evans, but the bad news is that Daly has got up very gingerly on that left ankle. But for a big man, for Tyrrell to do what he did, was great reflex action. Foran says, let's get out of here. And Inglis brings it back, and he runs over, he shoulders David Williams. I was about to say the Wolfman playing in appropriate conditions here tonight under the full moon, and then Inglis just shouldered him out of the road.
Oh dear, look out.
Here's Everingham now. It's your turn, Andrew.
Wolfman was howling, but it was in a bit of pain.
14-0, 2 tries early, second half for South Sydney, and Manly making ground without the football as they drive David Tyrrell into the ground. Now to Southern. He tries to break them. There's McQueen running a decoy or running support that time. Inglis dummy half. Reynolds just puts a little step in to beat Watmo. High kick, battered by Sam Burgess, down to Reynolds, and he got ankle tap. Manly have knocked on though, but they got no advantage.
They play a knock on. Last tackle, hand over here.
Ankle tap there was a timely one from Daly Cherry Evans. Adam Reynolds was shaping to kick out wide to his man. He's had so much success this season in doing exactly that. But 1-7 got the other.
So 10 minutes gone in the second half. And wholesale excitement. George Burgess, he's okay. Steve Maddow, a report for a high tackle on George. An arm that obviously bounced up off the ball. I thought took him no higher than just below the Adam's apple. But that is still deemed neck and head as being the penalty. He's on report anyway. Cherry Evans for Tom Simon. Simon started off the bench and Jamie Lyon tries to cut through. 30 metres away from the South line, and it's a penalty against the Rabbitohs.
You're doing a push, you've got to get their hands off him.
Okay, well, in the scope of this game, Manly need to score now. At this visit to the other end of the field, they need to come away with 6 points. We've had all the argy-bargy.
Don't bet on it.
From Sutton, penalised there for pushing the man in the back.
He's 10 now, he's 10, Judge.
Jamie Lyon.
Manly need a try, Rabbits.
Lawrence back for his his second appearance in the game. Ballon to Foran. Foran goes deep to Brett Stewart, and then he bats it on. Mathai brilliantly flicks the ball. Brett Stewart has another go. And again, he's only centimetres from the line. Matt Ballon, a barge over attempt. Alertness from South Sydney's Roy Asatasi. Here's Cherry Evans laying it out in front of Tom Simons. Ankle tapping tackle, not held. Try for Manly.
Looking at obstruction, Ray.
I've got no try. Review obstruction.
Right, we're looking at obstruction again.
Tom Simons coming back on the inside. South Sydney defenders were complaining that somebody couldn't get to him because a Manly player in the way.
Well, that's when they're not in the same postcode. This is the one that worries you. Somebody's taken out and then they work it back into the hole of the player that was impeded.
Runs in behind Matt Ballon.
Yeah, it's his headgear, isn't it? The maroon headgear.
Well, I thought it was a really ordinary effort from the defender. He just stood there. He had plenty of chance to go after Simons. It's Asatasi. I don't think he'd have caught him. I really don't. I don't think he made a real effort to get around the other side of him or not. He's got plenty of chance to go after him if he wants. He actually goes around the front of him. He's just too slow. The front row is too slow. I don't think that's obstruction.
I think you're right. I'll vote that way.
Got over the line a few times this year. This will be number 4 for him.
No try. No try.
Wow.
Obstructed their bloke from coming across. He stood in the defensive line.
So
it's not one. It's not
Ballon.
You know, I don't know what they expect this defender to go, Matt Ballon. There's nothing. He doesn't even touch Asatasi. I don't know where they expect Ballon to go. Anyway, it's not like one of the usual obstructions that we see. It's just the ball filtered out the back. The player made a run. I thought Asatasi was really slow.
Wally Lewis on the sideline, a comment.
Well, a couple of interesting decisions there. The one to say that Asatasi was impeded, but obviously the coach, Michael Maguire, didn't think he was. He made the decision to drag Roy Asatasi off the field after that immediate incident. So perhaps he thought Roy should have put in a better effort.
Fair comment from Wally Lewis. On the sidelines tonight, this is Ben Lowe. So just as we were saying, Manly desperately needed to score. Tom Simons provided the try, but it's been turned down. Here's John Sutton now, trying to break through.
He's been great tonight,
He
John
has
Sutton.
been wonderful tonight. There's Isaac Luke going on to McQueen, and McQueen gets it to the 20-metre line with a straining run. Isaac Luke to Adam Reynolds, and he kicks high and deep, and Everingham flies, and it's grounded by champions. This is going to be most interesting.
Yeah, I think it's gone backwards, so I'm going to give a try.
Ashley Klein believes that the Rabbitohs have scored again, this time through Bo Champion, the young man who eventually went to Melbourne to make way for Greg Inglis's inclusion at Redfern.
There's no problem with the chasers being behind the kicker. It's whether the touch there from Andrew Everingham is ruled to have gone backwards. This will probably be the best one to show it.
Well,
I think it
would
has.
appear as though it's gone backwards.
Yep.
There's no, I would think, doubt about that. Champion's confident, but then again, he could be accused of being biased. But if you look at Everingham, he's a metre inside the line, and the ball bounces on the line.
Yeah, where he touches it and where the ball lands shows the ball going backwards. It's what his motion going through. It looks backwards to me.
As backwards as it gets. That's a big turnaround, isn't it? 6 points at the other end, and South Sydney hit back at this end.
So the green light down the other end denied, given to South at the other end. Back at Brookvale in what has been just an absorbing game of rugby league. First half just absolutely thrilling. The second half thrilling, probably at the other end of the scale, with 3 tries to South Sydney. At the 41st for Greg Inglis, at the 46th for John Sutton, and at the 54th minute for Beau Champion. Adam Reynolds, a little smile. Somebody sharing some humour with him as he tries to convert again. This time the try of Beau Champion. And he's punched it straight between the posts. So South Sydney have piled on 20 unanswered points. Manly, of course, will be still bemoaning the fact that they scored what they thought was a legitimate try, and I thought it was too. I think Gus agrees with that. When Tom Simon scored,
on the 10 then.
It ruled that there was an obstruction on Roy Asatasi from Matt Ballon.
It doesn't take away from the fact that South Sydney have been absolutely blistering in this game. I mean, the first half was so competitive and such a battle. But they're the ones that have come out in the second half and backed it up. Manly couldn't back it up. And that's the strength of this South Sydney team. Is a turnover, but he's saying right from week one, this is a very, very serious football team, the South Sydney Rabbitohs this year. And if I'm a South Sydney fan, I'd be buying my ticket to the finals. I wouldn't miss out.
Last won the competition in 1971. And it's since then that Manly have won their 8 premierships.
Well, they haven't played in consecutive final series since 86-87. They're there this year again.
It was for a period there impossible to play in any finals.
Just bend in, Sam.
That's true.
They hit the ejection button on the poor old Rabbits for a couple of years. So Jamie Lyon will play the ball on the 20-metre line. They still can fight back. I know it's 20 points and Souths are playing great, but Manly, they won't be going away. Here's Tom Simons, 10 metres out from the line, 20 metres in from the eastern side. Watmo got a ball away. Ballon got it on. Foran is with the ball. And this capacity crowd loving every moment of it. Not the scoreboard, probably. Here's Watmo, put to ground by Lowe and Clark. This is the last. And Cherry Evans into Merritt. Tom Simons has got the ball coming down. This might be changeover. That's what he's ruled.
Back in, Bryson.
South not coming in contact with it.
Phil will tell you when.
You think about all the times the Sea Eagles have gone close tonight. You know, they've threatened on both sides of the field. Lion and the Wolfman over there have looked as though they're going to score for sure. And over here, Matt Eye has looked as though he was going to create something. Brett Stewart's been close. But every time they do, there are red and green jerseys coming from everywhere. The scrambling defence has been outstanding. And as close as Manly get, there always seems to be more South Sydney players around the ball.
So that's Tyrrell. Not that many haircuts, Dave. It's quite off-putting. You've got to stop and check yourself before you're calling. Sam Burgess has been just a rock. He's been a foundation for Souths tonight, although he has been since he came to the club, really.
And the other bloke I want to mention, Ray, is the man making that tackle there. You talk about haircuts. He looks very different these days, Chris McQueen, to when we saw him earlier in his career. But he's just come on unbelievably as a top-grade player. And I don't think he's had a break tonight. He'll probably play 80 minutes again, as he does most weeks. And he just gets you a power of work with and without the ball.
Kite is underneath that tackle from South Sydney. Nathan Peets is on in 14, so Isaac has gone for a break, and here's the ball to Brett Stewart. Brett Stewart down to the 20, supported by Lawrence. How did he get there? What are you doing there? Here it is with Foran. Puts a little kick in. Hit by South. 6 more. Maddai got it to Foran. And Foran is tackled. And that's 0 tackle Manly. Maddai there. Ballin is with it. Now it's Brent Kite. Brenton Lawrence, and just checking the program, he has got number 8 on, hasn't he? He is playing front row. Watmo, Ballin, Cherry Evans, and a bat on by Stewart. David Williams got a bouncing ball, and he's taken over there by Bryson Goodwin. So now to Tom Simons, and now to Lawrence, and he's inside the 10. Manly down by 20. And Cherry Evans to Jamie Lyon. Again, Goodwin is with him, shaking hands with him almost. He knows that Lyon cannot be given space. Cherry Evans, he kicks across, looking for Horrow. Down it comes now. He was pulled out of it, Burgess, I think.
Not gone South.
First one was backwards, then it's gone forward.
South's
gone forward.
Yes, mate.
It's nice to see Brett Stewart doesn't hold a grudge. A couple of weeks back at Blue Tongue Stadium, Brenton Lawrence burst through. Didn't even look for support, and Brett Stewart was outside him. Oh, Brett Stewart, he didn't mind throwing it to his front rower. That's the mistake there. There he is, Brett Stewart's away. He's looking for a quick man in support. It's the number 8. So he got dragged down.
I'm not sure.
Let's go, gents.
Still got a quarter of this game to go.
George Burgess about to come back in 17. And Sam Burgess was the man that got hands to it. It went forward. And then he was held off the ball, but they've simply ruled the ball went forward. Here is Lyon away to Brett Stewart, becoming more and more involved. The situation is marked urgent. Jamie Lyon, a push away, and then takes it himself to within 5 metres of the line. Ballin, here is Lawrence again. Watmo is with him. The big youngster is near the line, but South has put some equipment on him and put him to ground. Ballin sweeping it to Kite. Kite stepping away from one, taken down low by Tyrrell, and a penalty goes to Manly. Hand on the ball after the tackle.
The other way.
Matt Ballin takes the tap penalty. And now it's Anthony Watmo who delivers the ball away to Cherry Evans. On to Simons, a floater out to Williams, an inside ball for Lyon. Again, he's tackled by Goodwin. Now for Simons. Watmo, juggle over the line. Take this one off them. I don't think so. And Ashley Klein delivers the message that the Brookvale fans have been looking for.
With 18 minutes to go, they are over for their first, and Anthony Watmo did well to hang on to that. Crashes over, still plenty to do.
Well, there's your try scorer, Anthony Watmo. He's visited the line 68 times. At the top level, at club premiership football, that was 69. So Jamie Lyon, he didn't rush the kick, and now he plants it between the uprights. It's 20-6 in favour of South. Just under 17 minutes to go. Brad Fittler is on the sidelines.
It hasn't taken our man Tommy Simon long to make himself comfortable at the Sea Eagles. He throws a nice ball there to the Woofy, then he gets the ball, heads in field, and he finds an ever-present Anthony Watmo. I think it was a juggle actually put Greg Inglis off. He just kept searching for that line. They're back, I think. Still 16 to go.
The only surprise with that try is that it took an hour to come.
So the restart kickoff taken by Bryson Goodwin, and Brent Kite will play the ball 15 metres out from his own line. Manly running towards the northern end of their ground. Only losing 3 matches here in, what did I say, the last 22 assignments. Here's a penalty going to them now.
Yep, hand on the ball. Bit of momentum now. Daly Cherry Evans picking up the pace. Jamie Buer out there has been kept on the interchange for the final quarter of this game by Jeff Tuvey. Here he comes.
Buer in the familiar headgear. Ballon, Kite, Watmo's with him on the right side. Kite taking the tackle. George Burgess is back in the game. Lowe involved in the tackle with him. Knock on. Souths applaud. Souths applaud. Sam Burgess comes up to Ben Lowe and says, yes. Sharks and Bulldogs at Blue Tongue in Gosford on Sunday. That's our televised match. You people up in Gosford, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Sharks and Bulldogs. And you'll see that on 9 at 4 p.m. And it's probably D-Day, really, when you think about it, particularly for Canterbury. What are they, 1-5 to go down 1-6 in this competition? It would be a long, long way back for Des Hasler's team. So 40-metre line underneath South Sydney's Lowe as he crosses it. And this is what Manly do so well. The drive, the intensity in their defence. They continue to make ground without the football. It takes a man as big as George Burgess to put some kind of a dent in it. To the halfway line. Pete's in 14 with the head bandage. Now Sutton. 7 or 8 metres on Manly side of the halfway. And now it's come away to Ben Teo, and he's taken by Anthony Watmo initially. Just outside the 30-metre line, as you can see, they're going down the middle. And Reynolds puts the kick up high. Tafua comes in to Stewart. Stewart takes it. And he finds the turf just in time because Sam Burgess was about to deliver a fairly savage hit on him. Play by George Tafua. Now Jamie Buehrer. They're just inside the 20-metre line now. Ballon, Matai drifting across towards Cherry Evans on to Jamie Lyon. Goodwin has got him again. He's done a fair job out there tonight, Bryson. Here's Cherry Evans running into him and beating him. All ends up.
With both centres right, both champion. On the other side, Goodwin and the wingers have done a superb job.
Here's the kick by,
well read.
Yeah, Cherry Evans' kick. It was meant for Brett Stewart, but it was anticipated by Adam Reynolds. And he'll play the ball a few metres on his own side of the halfway. This is champion. I guess if you look at them on paper, South would say, well, they've got a lot more big names than we've got, but the lesser lights have stood tall. Scoreboard reflects that anyway. 20 points to 6 as George Burgess takes the ball to the middle of the ground. They're 35 metres out from Manly's line. And Manly need to be the next to score, there's no doubt. That kick from Sutton sitting down. Williams has been forced into touch in goal. Pushed over the line there by Greg Inglis.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Gee, Johnny Sutton's matured as a player these days. You really didn't know whether he was going to get to this level. He always had the potential, but under Michael Maguire, his game has gone to a whole new level, a whole new dimension.
Is he ready for Origin?
He wouldn't let him down.
Does the line drop out, shallow as it might be? It came off Burgess, went forward. Watmo's with it for Manly, so it worked perfectly for them. The shallow kick, Buehrer swerves around, taken by Nathan Peets, and he was up and away, driven down again, and Buehrer's hurt.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. This caught him by surprise. I think it was Burgess coming back from downfield, and Jamie Buehrer unfortunately ducked right into this. I really felt for it. See, he'll get up, and his head's turned around, and he'll duck, bang. Now that could have been nasty. Burgess does nothing wrong, but it's just the surprise and the fact that he ducks his head and had it at a terrible angle. It could have been really nasty for him. Let's hope he's okay here.
You could call it, I suppose, an accidental crusher tackle, but I think the crowd originally thought that he was to play the ball and that Burgess should have been penalised, but he'd broken free of the tackle and the referee had said play on.
You have to play it?
Yeah, nothing untoward.
Just wait for the whistle though, Jamie. Make sure you mark up closer.
Contact.
George, I need you closer.
I don't think anybody's benefited from the Greg English move to fullback more than Johnny Sutton as well. His presence in behind him. Just taking some heat off number 6. Brent Kite takes it over halfway.
20 points to 6, and there's under 12 minutes to go. Play by Brent Kite. Cherry Evans shows it to Watmo, gives it to Stewart. Glenn Stewart making his return unexpectedly tonight. Here's Kite and Lawrence decoy, 4 on a dummy, and then he's hit hard over the top by George Burgess. And away goes Ballon to turn it back inside for Watmo to push away from Burgess and give it to Burer. And Burer runs across, he's crabbing, gives it to Glenn Stewart to straighten, and he'll play the ball 22 metres away from the South Sydney line. Play by Glenn Stewart. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence puts on a sprint, and then a knock-on against Manly. Advantage goes South, no penalty to Manly. Player held without the ball.
Let me get out of the way. Okay, when
You got the mark, you got the mark.
Manly offered an opportunity. Watmo for Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans to Glenn Stewart. He got away from Sutton. He turned it back for Ballon, but Ballon is greeted by 2 of the South Sydney forward. Played to Cherry Evans. Brent Kite will have a go, but he's forced away from the try line by the impact of George Burgess and Ben Lowe. He plays it for Ballon. Ballon to Foran. Foran an inside ball for Stewart. Brett Stewart playing the ball. Tackled by Sam Burgess. Then Ballon, an attempt on his own, but he is down short. Short, in fact, he might be over the line. No, he's not. He's ruling play the ball, and Lawrence is the dummy half. Long to Cherry Evans. Out to Glenn Stewart, the kick in, and Merritt. Merritt kicks it dead. Line drop out time.
Outstanding defence, yet again. They deny Manly from close range. This has been brilliant from South Sydney tonight. What a game of football. I mean, it's one of those ones you can just forget the scoreboard and lose yourself in the confrontation.
Huge effort from Glenn Stewart tonight.
Need you to hurry up. Yeah, that's fine.
First game since the preliminary final at the end of last year, the grand final qualifier when they got belted by Melbourne. It looks like he'll go the duration first game back. Nice drop out from Reynolds.
So it's going just over the halfway line. Brett Stewart for Lawrence. Hasn't he got a turn of speed, Lawrence?
Right up there!
Nathan, straight up.
12 metres into South territory. Watmo always gets the ball at full speed. And as Gus pointed out, his speed over the ground, his run is always minimum 10 metres. That's a knock-on, I think. Cherry Evans has gone on. He's going to score. Cherry Evans is over. I just got the impression Brett Stewart thought there might have been a little knock-on. His head went down, but Cherry Evans, his head went up, and he went for the try line and got it.
And a real spring in the step of Manly as they run back now. How often do you see a ball go to the ground? Someone picks it up. It comes up against the defence, that's shattered. Daly Cherry Evans straight through.
Daly Cherry Evans has brought Manly right back into the game. His 61st consecutive game of first grade tonight. Jamie Lyon converts. It's 20 plays 12 in favour of South Sydney over Manly.
Well, we can go back to the 53rd minute of this game, where Tom Simon scores alongside the post for Manly. It is denied by the video referee, and 1 minute later, Bo Champion scores at the other end of the field in what I believe was a 12-point turnaround.
This is Simons with the ball. Cherry Evans, 61 in a row. His third season. And it's a very young season. His third, isn't it? Here's Brent Kite with the ball now. Almost up to halfway. Manly are 8 points in arrears with 7 minutes to go. They're throwing the ball around like a hot potato. It's on the ground. South will capitalise. Merritt cuddles the ball into his chest and plays it. And now it's with Bryson Goodwin. He comes across to be met by the Manly forwards of Lawrence and Ballon.
They needed that, South Sydney. Back on the ropes. They can just settle things down, and John Sutton again, the man to put his hand up and take it forward.
Hasn't been a happy hunting ground for them here at Manly down through the years. South Sydney's ability to win here is minute, to say the least. Clark, hand back. Ingles wanted to pass, then had to run.
Last tackle, Hando.
And last tackle. I think that's turnover now.
First one was tackle one.
He'll let you know when.
Well, that's what I called last and play on. Let's go.
3 of their last 17 games here. That's all they've won, Souths. And they give a penalty here. Hand on the ball after the tackle. Now the clock says we're 5.5 out. They're 8 points in front, the Rabbitohs. They're on the ropes. Manly are coming at them. The tap taken by Matai. Infield to Foran. Now for Kite. And I don't think anyone has left Brookvale. It's jam-packed as the Manly fans pray for a miracle. Fayoso, he's got some business to be done during the week. On report twice for a dangerous tackle on Inglis. Now to Kite. Now Cherry Evans. Here's Glenn Stewart. Now his brother. He dabs a kick in. David Williams! David Williams, the Wolfman, has pounced.
And what's your decision? This will be the second tackle. We've got a try.
Klein thinks it's a
the
try.
onside and the grounding.
Well, Brett Stewart, the man putting the kick through. David Williams, he's giving off all the right vibes. He wants everyone to know that he has scored. Defence sliding, going backwards. Brett Stewart dummies to pass, kicks it through. The winger is up. David Williams knocks on.
Watch it on this angle. The bouncing ball. And his hand doesn't appear to put downward pressure on it.
Can't give it.
He sold it well, but
Can't give it. You can't give that. He's dropped that.
Well, I think under the way Daniel Anderson views it, it'll be no try. There was a time when probably we'd be talking about, was there separation more so than downward pressure?
the right hand gets a touch, and I don't think it's a knock back.
No, he's dropped it. I don't think he's grounded it at all. His right knee gets in the way of his... He's dropped that. That's a no try.
Okay, we'll see what Jared Maxwell and Matt Rodwell have to say. Maxwell, the rules man. Rodwell, former Rookie of the Year when a player. And what are they going to do with the David Williams?
Mind you, the referees ruled try, so they've got to find conclusive evidence that it's no try. I don't think it's a try, but that means little in this game.
Well, if they did give it, would that balance out the equation with the no try for Tom Simon?
No, because South scored at the other end a minute later.
Waiting. No try.
It's time off. Wait there.
No try
Greg.
for David Williams.
John! It's going to be a penalty. Just go stand on the line, guys. Just go and stand on the line. John, stand on the line. I'm going to explain it to John as he comes over. Okay. So it's a knock on by David Williams, so it's no try. But in the process of the incident happening, you're being penalised for a shoulder charge. No, you haven't used your arms, okay, on that there. So that's why the penalty's for. Coming out here.
So it's a shoulder charge on Greg Inglis in attempting to save the try, but it's a knock on David Williams.
Time's back on now. Okay, when you're ready.
That being the case, there'll be people saying, well, why is it not a penalty try?
Yeah,
But
come up. Hold here.
I can't answer that at the moment. Fayoso, 7 metres out. We're 4.5 minutes out from the siren. Kite, Foran, taking it to within 3 metres. Another penalty to Manly.
Mate, I need you on the line.
He wants them with a foot on the line at least. Foran to Kite. Kite to Watmo. And tackled by Clark. Now from Ballon. Kite again. Stewart again. Then Jerry Evans. Jamie Lyons. And tackling him again is Bryson Goodwin. Jerry Evans and Glenn Stewart had to lean way out in front of him to take that ball. Plays it for Ballon. Sweeps it across the face. Foran inside. Simons goes back. They're back with Glenn Stewart. Now they're with Jamie Lyon. And Goodwin hangs on, but he gets it away for David Williams. And Williams will play the ball. So Manly, 8 in arrears. Desperately trying to get there. Within distance of them. And Everingham let it go. Everingham, he had the collective hearts.
On the line, guys.
Well, I don't think it was the last tackle.
Stopping there of the South Sydney supporters.
The rush of blood there from Brent Kite. It was only the 4th tackle. Nobody was chasing. And he's kicked it dead.
So 3 minutes to go.
Stand down!
And you'd have to think that that will be enough for South, given the time they should consume with this set. And then if Manly were to find a converted try, the clock you'd think would beat them. Sutton to the halfway. Luke back for the final minutes. Teo to the 40-metre line. Well, he was. Then they took him back a couple. 3 tries, plays 2. And here's Clark. Now Reynolds deciding to run, and he gives it to Sam Burgess. Oh, it went away, and Everingham had it, but it was forward.
Yeah, you're on, Sam.
I don't know that Andrew realises that Everingham I'm talking about.
Just wait, Kieran.
It was forward.
Jason, closer, let's go.
Keep in mind that record here at Brookvale for South Sydney. 3 times they've won in their last 17 games here. So it's an epic victory for them. That is Fayoso. Just under 2 minutes of the game remaining. It's Kieran Foran, I should say, goes out to the 40-metre line. Taken by Reynolds. Now for Watmo. Then for Jerry Evans. Now for Glenn Stewart. Here is Lyon. Taken down again by Bryson Goodwin.
Oh, you're starting to sound like a broken record, Ray.
Well, he's done a wonderful job, not only for himself, but for the name.
Oh, he's done
one of the great rugby league names. Here's Foran. Short for Tom Simons, trying to break through.
Yeah, he's been great. Bryson Goodwin on that far side. His battle with Lyon has been a feature. Foran now going to the line. Kicks him behind.
And Everingham is there to clean it up on the 10-metre line. He's indicating he might have cramped. So referee calls timeout with exactly 1 minute to go.
Well, if you love your rugby league, there's your crowd, 20,510. If you love your rugby league, you cannot complain about what we've seen so far this weekend. And the pick of them might be tonight. Roosters outstanding on Anzac Day. So too the Melbourne Storm. The Warriors courageous in defeat. But these 2 teams here have put on an exhibition.
Befitting a grand final?
Surrender!
Well, befitting any game that we've ever seen. It's been awesome. And it was just that important 10-minute period after half-time where South Sydney came out of the dressing rooms after a torrid first half and Manly didn't. They scored their first 2 tries in the 41st and the 46th minute, and the game was blown open from there. It's a real lesson for Manly. And it's a feather in the cap of this Michael Maguire coach South Sydney side.
John Sutton with probably his last play of the game. Brett Stewart slow to get up, so I think he's been taken a fraction high, but nothing has been said about it. To Fuller. He's broken through. He gets the ball away, but it's gone to ground. It's on the ground, and now Jamie Lyon picks it up and gives it to Jason Clark.
Hands on him.
And Clark is the last man to handle the ball in this mighty game of football being played here at Brookvale. South Sydney have won 20-12, 3 tries to 2. Greg Inglis scoring an impact try in the first minute of the second half after we turned the corner at 2-0 in favour of South Sydney. That was one of the big turning points, as Gus has just pointed out. Manly did not come out ready for that second half, and South got them and then piled on 2 more tries. Went out to 18-20-0. And then, of course, the other turning point was the denial of the Tom Simons try, which will be very much a talking point out of the game. 20-12 in favour of South Sydney, recording only their 4th win at Brookvale Oval in their last 18 appearances. Players on report: Steve Matai for an arm that bounced up off the ball on George Burgess, and Richie Fayoso twice on report for placing Greg Inglis on his head, or in a dangerous position, if you like. And Brett Stewart is also on report for an elbow, a reckless elbow, according to the touch judge, on Andrew Everingham. 20-12, the Rabbitohs have beaten Manly. Stay with us. Waddy Lewis, Brad Fittler will catch up with some of tonight's stars and will reveal the VB hard-earned man of the match. You're on Channel 9's Wide World of Sports.